Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here for the first time, then hello, welcome. In today's video, I have a DIY home decor video for you where I'm going to share with you 4 different DIYs that are beautiful, earthy, modern, organic pieces. And I'm also going to be sharing with you how I styled them here in our home. It has been quite some time since I have filmed a DIY video, I think close to a year, so it was definitely time to film another one for you. I personally love crafting and creating DIYs. It is so therapeutic to just turn my brain off, put some music on, and just get to crafting. Now, as always, I will link as much as I can in the description below for all of the items that I use to create these beautiful home decor pieces. So if you do want to recreate any of them, make sure to check down there, and I would love to see any of the pieces you guys recreate. The thing that I like about creating these modern organic pieces is that they do not have to be perfect. If you are not already, please make sure to subscribe and follow me over on my other social media accounts like Instagram and TikTok. They will also be linked down below. Before we get into the DIYs, I wanted to thank today's sponsor, Earthbreeze. If you have never heard of Earthbreeze, they are a sustainable laundry detergent company that is revolutionizing how people do laundry while making a positive global impact. Earthbreeze laundry sheets come in a plastic-free cardboard packaging, which reduces waste, and they actually sent over 2 of their laundry detergent sheets in the fresh scent and fragrance-free scent. I personally love the fresh scent. I know some people have a sensitivity to fragrances, which I think is great that they offer the fragrance-free option. Now, these sheets are super simple to use. You can either use a full sheet for a large load or a half a sheet for a medium load. And if you have heavily soiled or extra large loads, you can use 2 sheets. Now, their products are hypoallergenic and dermatologist tested, making them gentle on the skin. And they are free of harsh chemicals, artificial dyes, parabens, phosphates, and preservatives. I feel like so many products today have so many chemicals, so I am trying to make small positive changes, not only in what we eat, but the products we use here in our home, and Earthbreeze has really helped with that. If you guys are interested in checking out Earthbreeze, make sure to click the link in the description below or scan the QR code right here on the screen. When using my code MollyNicole, you can get 40% off of your auto shipment. You can go to earthbreeze.com/MollyNicole. I will have it linked below and right here on the screen so you can scan the QR code. Thank you so much to Earthbreeze for sponsoring today's video, and now let's go ahead and get to DIYing. For this first DIY, you're going to need some of these wooden dowels. You're also going to need some spray paint. I used this stone spray paint by Rust-Oleum, and then also used a white spray paint as well. This is just going to be used to create texture, and then you're going to need some of this air dry clay as well. Once I have rolled out my air dry clay, I'm going to take our little cookie cutter, because this is the only thing I could find with the size that I wanted, and I'm just going to be cutting out a bunch of circles. You will see here shortly what I'm going to be doing with this, but I'm just going to cut out, I believe, around 30 of them, and then you will see I place them onto this cookie sheet because we are going to make holes in the middle of these circles. I'm going to take one of the pens that I had laying around, and I'm going to be marking the hole that I want in the middle of these. Once I have that done, I'm going to take a little knife that I have. It's a carving knife for cooking, just something that I had laying around, and I'm going to carve out the middle to create that hole. Once all of the holes are finished, I'm going to get some water on my fingers and smooth out these little circles. Now, this does not have to be perfect, but I just wanted to get any cracks out that I saw. Once the clay has finished drying, I'm going to take antique white and white in the paints that I had, mix those together, and then I'm going to be coating the wooden dowels and those circles that we just made out of the clay. Now, for the wooden dowels, I didn't share spray painting them, but I did a layer of white spray paint and then the faux stone spray paint to give some texture. Once I have them all painted and they are dried, I'm going to grab my twine. You can get this from the dollar store, Hobby Lobby, Walmart. So many places have them. I'm going to be layering 2 wooden dowels to 4 of the clay little circular pieces that we made, and I'm just going to be repeating that until I run out. As I was putting this garland together, I knew that this was going to be one of my favorite DIYs. I love the way that it turned out. It really does look like an expensive piece that you would buy online. I'm then going to add some tassel as well. This one I had from a previous garland that it actually fell off of, but I am going to be making a second one, which you guys will see. I just put a lot of twine together and then cut through the ends, shortened them to the desired length, and then secured it to the end of the garland. Once we have finished that, this is the finished product. I absolutely love this beaded garland. It is probably my favorite DIY I have created to date, so I can't wait to hear what you think of it in the comments below. Now, I did style this over on my console table with a bowl that I picked up from Target, I believe a year ago. It's one of my favorite bowls from Studio McGee, and I'm just layering that inside of the bowl to give it a little bit of texture and visual interest. For our second DIY, you're going to need some measuring cups, this plastic bowl that I found at the dollar store, and then another bowl to mix papier-mâché, and of course the papier-mâché mix that I got from Hobby Lobby. All you have to do is add water to this, and it was really easy to work with. The instructions on how to mix are in the back of the bag. In my opinion, the directions have you add too much water, so you will see once I mix up the first batch, I realized that there is too much water and it's a little too liquidy. I didn't really know what to expect with this, but I ended up adding in some more papier-mâché to thicken up the mixture a little bit better so it would stick to the outside of the bowl. I did align the plastic bowl with saran wrap. You want to make sure to do this so it doesn't stick to the bowl when you try to pull it out once it is dry. Now, this mixture was pretty easy to work with. It does create quite a bit of dust, so just keep that in mind. I just had my door open, and some of the times I would go outside to mix it up so that it didn't create this plume of dust in my kitchen. Once we have the main shape of it, I'm going to start the lip of the bowl. I really wanted this to look like the expensive papier-mâché bowls that I have seen online, and I actually own one of them as well. So I'm just adding big clumps of it to add that little rim at the top of the bowl. I also wanted to add a base to the bowl, so that is what I am doing here. Now, for the dry time of this, I would highly recommend putting this piece in front of a fan for 2 to 3 days. That completely sped up the process, and it really did help dry it quickly. So you can see here, this is when the bowl was pretty much dry. The only section that wasn't dry was the very bottom of the bowl. But once I take the plastic bowl out, I actually bring it back downstairs and put it in front of the fan so it can continue drying before I paint it or style it. Now you will see when I style it, I actually style it both completely unpainted and painted as well. So I took those 2 colors that you saw on the screen, and I'm going to be taking these colors mixed with some water, and I'm going to be using this sponge that I got from Walmart. I'm going to be wringing out as much water as I can, and I'm just going to be dabbing that along. I obviously don't want a solid color, but I just wanted to see how I liked a little bit of color added to here. You guys will have to let me know in the comments which you prefer. Do you like it the natural kind of cream tan color, or do you like adding in a little bit of the paint? Papier-mâché can be very fragile, so just make sure, again, you are wringing out as much water as you can before applying it to the bowl. So here is the bowl without any paint on it. You can see a lot of the texture. You could pull off some of those pieces on the top, but I kind of like the character that it added. I am going to be adding in my other papier-mâché bowl that I got from a vintage market right inside of it, and then to finish off the look, I'm going to add in my beaded garland. Again, make sure to let me know once you have seen both colors which one you prefer in the comments below. I am also extremely happy with how this came out. Obviously it's not perfect, but papier-mâché never is, and I absolutely love the way it looks layered with my other papier-mâché bowl. For the third DIY, I'm taking this plastic bowl that I found at the dollar store along with this little round vase, and then I'm also taking joint compound that we picked up from the hardware store, and then the last thing is the E6000 glue to glue the little round vase to the bowl that I picked up from the dollar store. Once you have the two pieces glued together, you're going to want to make sure to let this dry for at least a couple hours before applying the joint compound. Once that is dry, you're going to put on some gloves, and this is the fun part. You're just going to start slapping joint compound all over. What we are trying to do here is make the appearance that this piece is a faux stone or ceramic piece. Joint compound is really easy to work with, especially when you're using it in a DIY project, so you really can't go wrong here. I am trying to fill in that little gap in between the bottom vase and the bowl that we connected with the glue, just so you can't see that. Once the joint compound has dried, you can take a little bit of sandpaper and get rid of any rough spots if that's what you want to do. I personally liked all the texture, so I'm just taking some of my paint. I mixed a gray and a white to create a very, very soft gray color. And then you will see here shortly, I'm taking that same sponge that I picked up from Walmart. I'm dipping that into some white paint, and I'm just going to be dabbing that on to, again, give that faux stone look that I really was going for. Once I finished painting, I'm going to take this into our primary bedroom and style it over on our dresser. You can see just how pretty the texture is on this. I absolutely love the shape and texture of the bowl before I even put the joint compound on it. So as soon as I saw it at the Dollar Tree, I knew that this would be the perfect item for this project. I'm going to be placing it on top of a coffee table book, and I'm also going to be placing one of my favorite anthropology candles right in front of it. I love this little vignette that I created over on our dresser, and I would love to know where you would style this piece in your home. Let me know in the comments below. For our last DIY, you're only going to need the air dry clay, a rolling pin to roll that out, and then a bowl to make a circle. So you can see I'm just using one of the bowls that we already had and cutting that out with that little carving knife that I used in one of the previous DIYs. Once you have that cut out, I'm going to take some water on my fingers again and start smoothing out all of the edges, making all of the cracks disappear. And then I'm going to take some of those wooden dowels that I used in the first DIY, and I'm going to be propping up some of the areas of the clay to make a ruffled look. I saw something similar on Pinterest and it really gave me a lot of inspiration, so I wanted to try and create my own. Now again, this is not perfect, but I'm actually really happy with the way that this turned out as well. I've learned things along the way, and if I ever do remake it, I can use those things that I have learned. But you can see I'm just kind of forming the clay around the wooden dowels to create that ruffled look until I get the exact look that I was going for. I'm then again going to wet my fingers and smooth out the clay so that I don't have any cracks. Once the clay is dried, I'm going to be taking 2 paint colors mixed together, painting that, and then I'm going to be taking some Mod Podge in the gloss finish, and I'm going to be going over that as a top coat to kind of seal everything in and give it that glossy finish, because that was the look that I was going for. Now obviously, if you want to have a matte finish or you want this to look more like a concrete look, you can use the matte Mod Podge. I had thought about using this over in our primary bathroom, but I actually styled it over in our kitchen for when I'm cooking and I need to remove my rings and bracelets and my watch when I'm cooking. I'm sure you could also put a smaller candle on this and use it as a candle holder. So many of you guys are so creative, so I'm sure you could come up with some great ideas of how to use it in your home. And that is going to complete this DIY home decor video. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you did like the video, make sure to subscribe and follow me over on my other social media accounts. They'll be linked below, along with everything else I can link from today's video. Thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!